What is the hardest part of saying goodbye? What secrets does this unusual clinic hold? What is the key to unlocking the Rainbow Bridge?
Wait, that sounds bad. Can I opt out?
Enter the world of Mimu and Tina. Dr. Bailey Picadillo and Herb.
Herb, you are covered in marinara, man!
Together, we will cross the Rainbow Bridge.
Started.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Hello, everyone. This is James Snyder with Film Snob Reviews. We're now here in front of the director, executive producer, and star of an official selection of the Sundance Film Festival, the short film The Rainbow Bridge, which is about a woman and her dog who share an otherworldly bond that connects them in transcendental ways. So welcome to Dimitri Simakis, Suki Rose, and Thu Tran. How are you guys?
Good. How are you doing?
Great.
I'm doing fantastic. I saw the film a few times actually right before I saw this, so that's probably why I'm feeling fantastic. It's a whimsical and colorful multi-hyphenate effort, and I hope it does well with audiences. When is it premiering here? On the 22nd?
22nd, yes, at the midnight program.
All right, 22nd at the Ray. Very nice. And since the subject matter of the film does deal with pets, I just have to ask, do any of you have pets?
Do you want to take it?
Yeah, I have a cat. I've had my cat for like 10, 11 years now, so we're very close. We have a very deep bond.
A veteran.
Yeah.
True veteran. Very nice. What about you guys?
We don't have any pets right now, but
No, it's been a while, but we're
big fans of pets.
We're big fans, and we've had, separately and together. We've had one cat together in a, sort of. She had it before we started dating, but I've always been a cat person all my life, and the loss of a furry friend is always a bummer. But it doesn't have to always be. It's just, it's the concept of it is a bummer, but there are ways to celebrate it.
Of course.
I definitely come from a dog family, but have always had, I've only had one cat, which was like the cat that we shared who passed away in 2017. So like this is like a little bit of an homage to Axel, our cat.
Sure. He was a white.
He was a little
cat.
white furry cat, not that similar from the white furry dog.
Yeah, that's not an accident. Yeah.
But yeah, we love him.
That's so beautiful. And do any of you believe that this is what happens to our pets in the afterlife?
Yes, I think honestly, I love the concept of the Rainbow Bridge. Like it never was really anything I remember where I first heard it. I honestly don't remember.
Things.
Just one of those things
culturally.
Yeah, I love that. If you like Google image search the Rainbow Bridge, it's just like endless, beautiful, like 90s pastel art. It's a lot of like, remember Blingy, like the like GIFs where it's like sparkly. There's like tons of it feels very like GeoCities banners. It's like such a beautiful, kind of underrepresented art form, because I think it's like such a universal thing, but a lot of people don't necessarily want to talk about it unless it's in this like beautiful, poetic,
abstract
kind of like successories, footprints, you know what I'm talking about, like that sort of deal. And I love that aesthetic. Love it.
I feel like we really respond to the aesthetics and the intention behind the idea of the Rainbow Bridge. I find relief in the idea of the end of consciousness after death. So I'm not sure I believe that our pets are physically. I don't know either.
I find it just as likely as any other possibility.
I guess that's true.
I'm open to it.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. What do you think about that too?
I mean, the mystery is kind of part of the fun, right? Because like we don't know for sure, so you can kind of make something up, or like there's already existing ideas, or so many existing ideas of like what the afterlife might be, or what it's like to cross over. You might as well pick the one that looks cool, I guess, So
Absolutely. And I have to ask you this. What was it like performing both in our world and the pet afterlife? Because I know you visit quite the plane of existence there.
Yeah, they were definitely two different places. And one was, like a physical set, with like, I mean, it was a real room, the doctor's room, the doctor, and then like the fantasy realm was, do you really have to pretend too, just like you are in a fantasy, because we shot it on a green screen, so I really had to pretend where I was. I mean, we were really there. Actually, it was on location at the Rainbow Bridge. They got the permit for the afternoon.
Managed
And
to get the release form. Yeah.
right, yeah.
Oh, that's great. And while we're on the topic of aesthetics and thinking about how things look, uh, Dimitri, why are you so attracted to the analog VHS look and feel? Because that came as a very helpful mold for all of this to go into.
Yeah, that will always be a big part of my life. I'm the co-creator of Everything Is Terrible, the Found Footage Collective, and Memory Hole, that both sort of are centered around found footage. And for me, it has a lot to do. There's a lot of reasons why I love it and why I'll never escape it, whether I want to or not. But it's like world building is probably the number one thing about it. It's these, with each tape you find, when you find the right tape, and so many of them have it, good, bad, whatever you want to call it. I love them all. There's a universe within each one. When you're watching these new age tapes, it's like, oh, they're mimicking other media that they're inspired by, or whatever. You find, the last Everything Is Terrible movie we made was called Kids Club, and it's all taken from footage centered around and for tapes for kids and babies.
Of course.
Each one is like this alternate reality of like a Jim Henson Sesame Street universe, but it's obviously like on a no budget, but it's all beautiful all the time. Like, it's just like, oh, those paper trees, those cardboard cutouts of a window, these puppets, all of it, just like it all adds up. And so it was really important to me to like, I couldn't not start the short with an homage to that, while also it being a great plot device to give you a ton of information on the world. And like, having David Brown, who's such an amazing actor, kind of like relate all that information. It's a lot of work to do, but he just did such a brilliant job of like, in his tone, there's like this, it kind of sounds like he's about to cry, the character Duncan, who's like the case study.
Right.
Just like hearing the tone of his voice and how he's
such a vulnerable performer. Even on jury duty, he's so like, the reason I think why people are so drawn to that performance of his, it's very vulnerable, and like he really exposes himself like within the characters he's playing. So
100%.
And Dimitri also has a practice in analog video glitch, so I think one of the things we get frustrated by sometimes is when people utilize the aesthetics, the VHS aesthetics, oftentimes they're using like a filter or
of course
that, and
the fundamentals is what you're
one thing
looking
you
for.
take away from this. It is stop using the bad TV filter. Stop it.
Because like, yes, there were some challenges with shooting, some of the footage off the screens and stuff like that, but all of this is none of this is filters. So it's all like process, run through
many times. And that was important to me. I think that builds that's a big part of the tangible world building. Having everything be tangible is really, really important. And again, what better way to do that than with the magic of VHS and glitch? And yes, there is a bunch of glitch stuff I use too to kind of go in between worlds.
Of course, but you can incorporate new ideas into an old feeling, which I think is a very interesting way of putting things together story-wise.
Totally.
Yeah. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah, bravo there. And just as a final closing question, what would you like audiences to take away from the Rainbow Bridge more than anything?
Yeah, we've been. I think the true answer is I want you to walk away from this feeling a sense of joy and kind of magic from it, but also a bittersweet feeling of that memory you have of that love, whether it's a pet you're still with, whether it's a pet or many pets that you've lost. I want you to honor them. I want you to think about them, and I want you to leave happy. You know, leave with joy.
Yeah, I think one of the like key elements of grief is that it stays with you throughout your entire life. It just that your life kind of gets bigger around it, and so you might not be thinking about a beloved lost pet like every single day. So I hope that this is like a nice reminder to like think about a lovely your own Mimu that you might have lost and like hold them close in your heart. So, and also just to like have a good time.
Absolutely, too.
Yeah, I hope people enjoy the short film, and I hope this becomes the default visual you have of the Rainbow Bridge. If I never really thought about what it might look like before, but like now we get to see. And yeah, I hope you learned something cool about what the afterlife might be, even though it's not accurate, or who knows? Who's to say? Yeah, who's to say?
Who's to say? Who's to say who might find out the answer of where the Rainbow Bridge leads to? Well,
Right.
thank you everyone for your time today. The Rainbow Bridge is the official selection of the Sundance Narrative Short Competition. Best of luck to all of you. It's premiering January 22nd.
Thank you so
And
much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks,
my pleasure,
James.
folks. Have a great one.
Yeah, have a good one.